You look at what you're going through right now and you almost can't believe it. It's not just that it hurts, it's that it hurts this much. You lie down at night and think, God, why did you let it go this far? Why did it have to be this painful, this humiliating, this heavy? You're not even questioning if it hurts anymore. You're questioning the limit. Why did it have to end like that? Why did they have to leave that way? Why did that sickness, that breakup, that betrayal, that loss have to cut this deep? Lord, you could have stopped some of this. Why didn't you? And if you're honest, somewhere inside you there's this whisper. God, I think you went too far with me. You could have protected me from at least part of this. You could have closed some doors earlier. You could have spared me some of these tears. Maybe you're still serving. You still believe in Jesus. You still show up. But your heart is tired. You feel bruised by life and a little offended with heaven. What if I told you this level of pain is not random? What if this is not proof that God forgot you, but that He is working deeper in you than you ever asked Him to? What if this is not God being careless with your heart, but God doing surgery on your heart? Today I want to talk to you about something that might reframe everything you're living. God is not allowing you to hurt like this to destroy you, but to remove what would destroy you later, and to position you for a future you can't see yet. This is not God losing control of your story. This is God going deeper than you ever imagined. There's a kind of pain that feels excessive, not normal life hard, beyond that. You look around and think, other people struggle, sure, but why does it feel like my life is always a little harder, a little heavier, a little more complicated? You said things like, why is my process always the long one? Why does everybody else seem to get the easy testimony and I'm the one crawling through? God, did you have to hit this hard? Did you have to take that from me too? It almost feels unfair, like heaven is rougher with you than with other people. But listen, what you call exaggeration, God calls depth of work. When a surgeon is just removing a splinter, it's quick and simple. But when he's removing something that could kill you, he goes deeper, he cuts wider, he takes more time. Your heart isn't on a minor procedure table, it's in major surgery. Think about Job. Scripture calls him a blameless and upright man, someone who feared God and turned away from evil. And yet, in a short span of time, Job lost his wealth, his children, his health, his reputation. If anyone ever had the right to say, God, this is too much, it was Job. He didn't understand why heaven allowed that level of loss. His friends thought it was punishment. His wife told him to give up. But God was after something bigger than that chapter. He was writing a story that would echo through generations, a revelation of who God is in suffering, a testimony of restoration, a double portion Job could never have imagined. Yes, Job hurt deeply. Yes, he questioned, he grieved, he lamented. But in the end, he could say, I had heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye sees you. God didn't exaggerate with Job. He went deeper because he was going to go further with Job. And that's what's happening with you. The size of your pain is not a sign that God is cruel. It's a sign that the work is deep and the purpose is great. So what do you do with that? You don't fake strength in front of God. You don't pretend you're fine. You bring Him real tears and real questions. You tell Him, Lord, I feel like you went too far. It hurts more than I thought I could handle. He's not afraid of your honesty. He already sees the storm inside you. But slowly, you begin to shift one question. Instead of only asking, why me? You begin to ask, Lord, what are you trying to work so deeply in me that it required this level of process? Because you are not being punished in excess. You're being prepared in depth. If the pain is great, it's because the calling is great. Have you noticed how this season has stirred up things you thought were gone? Old wounds you thought were healed. insecurities you thought you had outgrown, habits and fears you thought you had already buried. You catch yourself reacting in ways that surprise you, getting triggered by words, attitudes, situations that touch something old in you. And you wonder, why is this hurting in places I didn't even remember existed? Why is this current disappointment touching trauma from years ago? Because God, in His love, often uses a present pain to expose an old root, not to shame you, but to finally heal you. Think about Joseph, betrayed by his own brothers, sold as a slave, falsely accused, forgotten in prison. Year after year, his suffering wasn't just about circumstances, it was reshaping his heart. When famine came and his brothers stood before him in Egypt, Joseph had every human reason to take revenge. But what came out of him? Tears, compassion, mercy. He said, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." That's the voice of a man whose deep roots had been healed. But to get there, God allowed years of process that touched rejection, identity, trust, forgiveness. This is what your pain is doing now. God is not just dealing with this breakup, this disappointment, this anxiety. He's gently uncovering the childhood wound, the abandonment you never named, the need for approval, the sin you've been hiding behind, "I'm fine." The pain you're feeling is like a spiritual MRI. It's showing what was always there under the surface. So instead of only praying, "God, make this stop hurting," you can begin to pray, "God, show me the root behind this pain. What are you trying to pull out?" Practically, this may mean paying attention to where it hurts the most. Being honest if some reactions are bigger than the situation in front of you. Seeking help, a mature believer, a pastor, a counselor, a therapist, not because your faith is weak, but because your healing matters. God doesn't expose to embarrass you. He exposes to finally heal you. This pain you're feeling is not just about what happened. It's about what has been building inside you for years. He loves you too much to leave those roots untouched. Some of you feel like your whole life is a series of back-to-back battles. The moment you get through one thing, another thing hits. You barely catch your breath and another wave comes. You said, "Why is everything a test? When do I get a simple season? When do I get to just rest?" And deep inside, you might even think, "God, are you picking on me?" But what if what feels like constant testing is actually intentional training? God is not trying to exhaust you. He's building in you the kind of endurance that your calling will demand later. Look at David. Before there was Goliath, there was the lion and the bear. While everybody else saw a shepherd boy in a field, God saw a king in training. Those random, dangerous moments while David watched the sheep, they were not random, they were rehearsals. The courage David used against the giant was forged in secret fights no one clapped for. In the same way, your current fights may not look glamorous. They may not look ministry-worthy or testimony-ready. But every day you choose to get up one more morning in faith, forgive one more time, keep your integrity at work, stay pure when temptation screams, choose prayer instead of bitterness. You are training. God is strengthening spiritual muscles in you. The muscle of faith, the muscle of perseverance, the muscle of humility, the muscle of dependence on Him. You may look at others and think, they don't seem to go through all this, but don't compare your training to theirs. Every calling carries a different level of preparation. A soldier and a special forces operator don't go through the same workouts. You are being prepared for something specific. What exhausts you today will one day become your authority. The battlefield that drains you now is the classroom of your calling. So instead of seeing every hard thing only as an attack, begin to ask, Lord, what are you training in me through this? Then, cooperate with the training. Show up. Stay faithful. Refuse to quit. This is not pointless suffering. It is precise preparation. Some of the deepest pains in your life came from loss. The relationship that ended, the friendship that broke, the job that fell through, the dream that just died. You look back at situations and think, if God knew it would hurt this much, why didn't He stop it earlier? Why let it go so far just to end like this? Because sometimes God allows a painful ending now to protect you from a greater destruction later. Think of Ruth and Naomi. They lost husbands. They buried dreams. They walked away from Moab carrying grief, emptiness, and questions. Naomi even said, "The Lord has dealt bitterly with me." It felt like God had gone too far. But that painful road back to Bethlehem, that season of mourning, relocation, and starting over, was actually leading them straight into redemption, into Boaz, into restoration, into the very lineage of Jesus. God used a season of deep loss to position them in a place of destiny. In your life, there are relationships God ended that you still don't fully understand. There are doors He slammed shut that you still wish had stayed open. But what if that heartbreak was actually a rescue? What if that no that crushed you was actually God's mercy? What if He allowed that person to walk out because He saw what your soul would look like if they stayed? Some of what you're calling rejection, heaven is calling protection. God will sometimes break what you love to save who you are. So what can you do now? You can pray, even through tears. God, I don't see everything you see, but show me glimpses of what you've protected me from. And even where I don't see it yet, help me trust your no as much as I trust your yes. You begin to release people, places, and plans that God has clearly ended, not because it doesn't hurt, but because you're choosing to believe that His wisdom is higher than your understanding. One day, many of the things you call loss today, you'll look back and call deliverance. There's another kind of pain you may be living right now. It feels like everything is shaking at once. Doors closing, relationships shifting, cycles ending. You feel like you're standing between chapters. One is clearly over, but the next hasn't started yet. It feels like the end of your story, but there's no new script in your hands. You've asked, is this it? Is this how it all ends for me? After everything I've walked through, is this really where I stay? But biblically, before every new level, there is almost always a breaking point. Think about Paul. Every time the gospel advanced in a big way, new churches planted, new letters written, new territories reached, there was a fresh wave of pain. Persecution, prison, betrayal, physical weakness, the mysterious thorn in the flesh. To human eyes, it looked like loss. To heaven's eyes, it was the labor before new birth. The same is true in your life. What feels like everything falling apart may actually be everything being rearranged. Some endings are not funerals, they're birth contractions. You're not just at the end of a season, you are in the delivery room of a new one. How do you partner with God in this? Start asking, Lord, what new level of intimacy, maturity, calling, or assignment is this pain announcing? Write down what you sense. New desires, new burdens for people, new clarity, even new holy dissatisfaction. Instead of only begging for the old season back, begin to say, God, I open my hands for the new thing you're doing, even though I can't see it clearly yet. You are not collapsing. You are being relocated. This is where everything comes together. You felt like the forgotten one, like God skipped you when he was handing out easy stories. But hear this in your spirit. You are not someone God abandoned. You are someone God chose to work on in depth. You are not the sum of what they did to you. You are the sum of what Christ is doing in you through this valley. This hasn't just been suffering, it has been selection. God is using this level of pain to separate those who only walk with him when it feels good from those who will walk by faith, not by sight. This is not random cruelty. This is targeted preparation. You are not being destroyed in the fire. You are being refined in the fire. You are not at the end of your story.
You are in the furnace where God is purifying the gold he placed inside you. One day you will look back at this season and say, it hurt more than I thought I could bear. But now I see, if it weren't for this process, I wouldn't be where God has me today. So declare this over yourself, even if your feelings aren't there yet. I am not forgotten. I am in process. I am not being punished. I am being prepared. This is not rejection. This is redirection. This is not the grave of my purpose. It is the ground where my purpose is being planted. You are not the victim of this season. In Jesus, you are the one being formed by this season. A brief summary to your heart. God is not indifferent to your pain. He has been with you inside it the whole time, working in places you can't yet see. This suffering is not evidence that he rejected you. It's evidence that what he's doing in you is too deep to be handled superficially. Through this pain, he has been exposing hidden roots, training your heart, protecting you from roads that would destroy you, and announcing a new level of purpose over your life. The hidden reason behind all of this is not destruction. It's transformation. God is aligning your heart to the story he dreamed for you long before this valley ever started. Your response. What do you do now? Right now where you are, you can choose a response. Name your pain before God. Not in vague terms, be specific. The breakup, the diagnosis, the betrayal, the disappointment, the loneliness. Bring it all. Stop fighting only to get out of the process and start asking for understanding inside the process. Lord, don't just end this. Use this. Show me what you're forming in me. Begin a journey of forgiveness. You may not feel ready to forgive completely. That's okay. Start with, God, I want to forgive. Help me. Seek help instead of carrying this alone. Reach out to a church, a leader, a counselor, a trusted believer. Healing is often a community project. Speak faith over your future, even when you don't feel it. Write down what you believe God still wants to do in you and through you. Let your words lead your feelings, not the other way around. This is not about pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about refusing to let the pain have the final word. Here's a prayer to pray in this season. If you can, close your eyes and let these words become your own. Father, I'm hurting. It hurts more than I thought I could handle. I feel tired, confused, and sometimes I even feel upset with you. I don't understand why you allowed certain things, but I choose to bring this pain to you, not run from you because of it. I confess that I don't see the full picture. I admit that I don't know how to carry all of this by myself. Today, I lay before you the people, the losses, the disappointments, the chapters that broke my heart. You see every tear. You know every detail. Thank you, because even when I can't feel it, I choose to believe you are working something good in the middle of this. I ask you, don't just take away the pain. Take away the pride, the idols, the unhealthy dependencies, the lies that this pain has exposed. Lord, I release to you what I've been trying to control. I give you this story, this relationship, this door, this season. Let your purpose be greater than my understanding.
I speak this over myself. I am not abandoned. I am in process. I am not what I lost. I am who you are forming me to be. My identity is not in my pain. My identity is in Jesus. Give me grace to keep walking. Give me strength to stay when I want to quit. Give me courage to forgive and wisdom to move forward. And one day, Lord, let this season become a testimony, not of how strong I was, but of how faithful you were. In Jesus' name, amen. If you prayed that, even whispering, even with doubts, even through tears, heaven heard you. This pain is not the end of your story. It's the chapter where God is preparing you for what's next. Don't give up here.